Hey guys, so I have a couple of projects I want to get done today. The big one being that I need to do a little swapperoo with our bookshelf that has all of our cookbooks on it right now. This guy right here, and all of that crap on top. And we got a new cabinet that is this guy here. And it is actually going to move where the bookcase is, and the bookcase is going to move right here. So it's a bit of a process. The bookshelf is incredibly heavy because it is full of cookbooks. So I'm going to need to take quite a few of the books off to be able to move it. And of course I want to take everything off the top because that's all going to go into the new cabinet. Plus all of the paraphernalia that ends up on this table is going to go into that cabinet as well, or at least most of it. So hopefully we'll have a nice clean dining room table going forward and have a little bit more organization for we don't have a junk drawer here. Everybody needs a junk drawer, so we are now going to have a junk drawer. Anyway, but first I need to get some sourdough started. I have the sourdough started. I need to get the bread dough started. Actually, wait. First, I'm going to make a double chocolate zucchini bread. And I'm going to use my freeze-dried zucchini from the garden. So I need to rehydrate this first. Pop this guy open. So it calls for 1.5 cups of fresh zucchini. I'm not really sure what that looks like in freeze-dried terms. I'm guessing oh my goodness, this drawer. All right, maybe we do 1 cup rehydrated and see where that leads us. Yeah, we'll start with that. I'm going to put maybe 1/2 cup of water in here. This will be my first time using this, clearly. I'm guessing it's going to rehydrate quickly. But I want to give it some time to completely rehydrate. Before we put it in batter. All right. I'm actually thinking that might be less than 1 cup once it's rehydrated. Yeah, that's looking like less than 1 cup. All right, let's put some more in. I'm going to do another cup, except this is already wet. Dang it. Oh my goodness gracious. Going to be that kind of a day, apparently. All right, gonna get one more 1/2 cup of water. So I'm gonna let that set here and rehydrate while we get the sourdough dough started. Get our scale on here, and we are going to start with 200 grams of our starter. And this might be a little slow rising because I actually fed this 2 days ago. And actually, maybe I'm only going to do 150. So it's a little bit spent, but my sourdough seems to be happy to keep growing as whenever I want to feed it. It is not real fussy, thankfully. All right, and then we're going to put in 350 grams of water, which is almost 2 cups worth. And just mix that in with the starter. And then we're going to put about 450 grams of flour. And actually, you really shouldn't mix anything on your actual scale because it will hurt the calibration. And then I'm just going to mix this together. Actually, I might put a little bit more flour in here. Just a touch. Because I'm going to make baguettes out of this, so it does need to be, I need to be able to handle it at least a little bit. So I don't want it super hydrated. There we go. That should be perfect. And the best way to work with a highly hydrated dough is to dip whatever you're using, hands, this, whatever, in water. It's much better than flour with this kind of a dough. Trust me, if you use flour, you just get dough-caked fingers. Ask me how I know. All right, we're just gonna cover this and let it set for about 45 minutes or so, and then we're gonna add a tablespoon of salt and start doing our stretch and folds, which we will do 3 of total, then it will go in the fridge overnight. So that is done. Just going to cover it. And then of course we need to refeed our, sourdough. So I want about 100 grams in this, and this container is like 46 grams or so. So I need to get rid of about 50 grams. All right, and then we are going to put in 100 grams of water and 100 grams of flour. Ish. It does not have to be exact. Oh, and actually it is, again, helpful to stir it in. It's just easier to mix the flour in if these are already mixed together. And 100 grams is typically about a cup if you've fluffed your flour. And then I will just let this set on the counter until it starts doing its fermentation, and then it will go in the fridge until the next time I want to use it. Which, let's see, it had probably been 3 months since I had made any sourdough and had not fed it since then. So, like I said, this little starter does not seem to be real fussy, which is great since I neglect it terribly. So we are just going to put a lid on it loosely. Don't seal it because air does need to escape. And I'm just going to put it on the counter here. And then I'm going to get this cleaned up and we will get started on our zucchini bread. Actually, I lied. First, we need to take care of this. This is some very, very fermented, pretty much like vinegar, kombucha. So we are going to renew this really quick because this is not drinkable. So I'm just going to pour most of it out and start a whole new batch. We actually need to wait for the oven to preheat anyway, so this is probably good. So this is 10 black tea bags that I covered with boiling water and have just let set here until it's cooled. And this is the basis of kombucha. So first we need to get a cup of sugar in here, because that is what the SCOBY, which is this disgusting looking slimy thing in here, feeds on. a stir to get it all nice and combined, dissolved. Set for a second, and we are going to stick our hand in here and pull out this massive SCOBY. Oh my gosh, it is so massive. I don't even know if it's gonna come out. I might have to pull it out in pieces, which is fine because I had planned to give my mom one of these because she wants to start kombucha again herself. So actually I will just go ahead and put this right in here. And then I will add some of this kombucha liquid to this and then give it to her next time I see her. Which will be very soon because she now lives 15 minutes away from us, which I'm so happy about. All right, let me see. There we go. Oof. There we go. All right, I'm only going to keep part of this SCOBY because I don't think I need the whole thing. All right, then I'm going to, like I said, take a couple, probably 2 cups, and put it in each of these bags, and then pour out everything except for 2 cups at the bottom, and go from there. So this has been sitting on my counter for several months, not being changed. So it's not surprising that it has gone vinegary. Now let's dump out most of this and get all of this started in. And give this one more quick stir. There's still, apparently Madeline hears someone at the door, even though there probably is not anyone at the door. All right, gonna pour this out. Perfect timing. Our oven is nice and preheated. So she actually provided, this recipe is coming from Sally's Baking Addiction. Yeah, sallysbakingaddiction.com. And it is called Fan Favorite Chocolate Zucchini Bread. And she does give weight measurements, which is great. So we are going to start with 125 grams of flour. That is not 706 grams. Okay, let's actually tear out the bowl before we add stuff to it. All right, try that again. 123. I think I need a new scale. It seems to like jump numbers pretty significantly sometimes. And then 41 grams of cocoa powder. And this is just regular cocoa powder. And we need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. This is baking powder. Just double checking. and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Right, and one of the fun tricks when baking with chocolate is if you add espresso powder, it just brings out the depth of the chocolate and you don't actually taste any coffee, just a 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, so we are just going to mix that together and then we will get our wet ingredients going. So we need 60 milliliters of vegetable oil. She does have volume measurements in here too, so if you don't have a scale or you just prefer using volume, you certainly can. And then 80 grams of Greek yogurt or sour cream. We are going to use Greek yogurt because I happen to have some open. 2 large eggs. But you guys, I desperately need recipes to use eggs because I have a ridiculous amount of eggs. And my newest chicken has started laying. She lays beautiful blue eggs, actually. I can even show you. Isn't that pretty? That was her first one just yesterday. So now I have green, blue, dark brown, normal kind of brownish, creamish, and a cream. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I have some vanilla. Just gonna whisk this together. And we're going to add it to our dry ingredients and whisk that together, and then add our zucchini, which thankfully she does have a weight measurement for that as well, so I don't have to guess. And the great thing about zucchini bread is you don't taste zucchini. I mean, honestly, zucchini doesn't have much flavor as it is, but you don't taste any vegetable in it. It just gives it a really nice moistness. So we need 180 grams. And she specifically said no need to blot, so I might need to grab a little bit more. That is only 153. Oh, exactly 181. So I am going to scrape out all of this, the rest of the liquid ingredients, make sure we get all of that in there. Did say that this will be a very thick batter, which it is. And into the oven it goes. I imagine this has to bake for a significant amount of time. Let's see, 45 minutes. So we will start, and it says to start checking about 10 minutes before. So we'll start checking at 35. All right, going to get this mess cleaned up now and everything put away, and then we will start tackling our bookshelf and cabinet. Like I said, we need to move all of this stuff. Some of it just definitely doesn't even belong here. Off of here. I'm just gonna set it on the table for now. And then pull off some of the books as well. This has become our junk drawer. It's kind of gotten ridiculous. All right, where do we start? I feel like if I just empty the top shelf, that we'll be able to move it. What do we think? Oh yeah, that's movable now. Okay. That out of the way. I still can't move it by myself though, so I'm gonna go ask David to help me. We have this moved into place and it fits perfectly. Sadly, the shelf does not fit where I was hoping it would fit. I thought I measured it, but apparently not well enough. So I'm gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with that. But for now, we can still get this finished put together, the drawers in, the doors on, and start putting stuff away. Right, yay, perfect. And I'm sure we're still gonna have a bunch of stuff ending up on top of here. In fact, actually, first thing we're gonna put on here are the dog coats. Boudreaux is actually already outgrown his little teeny tiny jacket. So we will donate that. We have a couple of others, and then these are Madeline's. This one actually can go away because this is her big heavy one. She doesn't need that anymore. Shouldn't. Put these down here. Next is all my camera equipment. And Madeline's. Wow. This is not camera equipment. That needs to go out to the shed. We are going to, that's gonna be a problem. put this stuff in here. Oh, perfect. This guy, I actually don't ever use this because it's really big and heavy. So I think I'll go back downstairs. Yeah. So actually, if I moved it around, I think it actually does work. These are sticking out a little bit more than I would like, but I think I'm just going to go with it for now. However, it is very dusty, so I'm going to wipe that all off first. I'm sure the bottom shelf could use a wipe down too, but I'm not going to move all that stuff to do so. We actually have a subscription to that, so I'm not going to keep these because we can get the recipes anytime. All right, let's see here. It seems like there's some books missing from down there. If you have interest in bread baking, these are amazing books. There's the Bread Baker's Apprentice and Whole Grain Breads. I actually think I have this guy here. Can you tell I like to bake? I seem to have more room on here than I expected. I can put our canning books in here now. Perfect. And this is just all, these were my fudge recipes for my failed fudge experience. But these are all just printed out recipes that I've printed over the years and wanted to keep. Although nowadays, since I use my iPad for almost everything, I don't get into them very often. All right. This is actually kind of a cool thing to write your own recipes and stuff in, which I don't know that, I guess, actually, David is often asking me when I make something, how did you make that? What did you put in it? Did you use a recipe? And usually I'm like, no, I just kind of threw things together. So maybe I should start writing them down in here. Yeah. All right. This bookshelf is put back together. Now we can focus on everything that's going to go in that cabinet. Our timer has gone off, but I don't think this is ready. No, it still has a ways to go. So we will put it in for another 10 minutes. All right, so I need to put some piles of things. This is for the drone. Enhanced propeller guards. All right, we will put drone in with camera stuff. That needs to go to recycle. I have all of these cool tops for mason jars, and this is a project that is coming, not quite there yet. So then this is the wood tops for our spice jars, so also part of this project as well. So I think I will leave this stuff here and put it somewhere in this cabinet. This was the coolest thing Quinn made as one of her projects for one of her design classes, graphic design classes. And it was a box. Let me grab the mug. It was a box for this mug, which is all of our pets that we had at the time. So this was Toby, Franklin, which is her Boston Terrier. Toby we lost several years ago now. That's Hershey, who we lost 2 years ago in July. And then we have Chester, Charlie, and Muggsy. And yeah, that was it. Anyway, so she did all of that. She designed their faces and everything. And then she wrote little stories about each of them. So I really want to get this framed in some sort of way. Just haven't gotten there yet, but definitely want to get it done. Definitely want to save it. So I think I'm gonna put this down in my craft room as a project for crafting. This is plumber's tape, so that should probably go out in the garage. And this tray I do actually want to keep up here. This is actually a cool charcuterie board thing that the top comes out like that, and then it has, isn't that cute? Quinn got that for me for Christmas a couple years ago. Leave that up here. Let's put this guy, he's over here, and this project down here as well. All right. This is for the RV. And then we have all of these manuals, many of which came with the house. And so some of the stuff is really old, and I don't know that we'd be able to find a manual online. So we are going to keep these, and they're all going to go in one of these drawers. This actually really should go back into the trailer. You know what? This is gonna go back in the trailer. Little things like replacing batteries on our temperature gauge thingamabobber. I actually only know where one of the sensors actually is, but I will put it outside. Go. Of course, it's going to need to connect to everything again. These do not belong here, but they are the best chocolates ever. Ever. I don't know. I never use change anymore. What to do with this? All right. I think this is the last of the complete disasters. All right. That is a manual. That needs to go in the closet. I do like having this here. That is for the flashlight over here. There are in here. These are David's. They are not in here. And these are mine. They also don't have anything in them. Okay. I really don't think we need all of these. So, let's see. Put these over here. Because clearly we don't actually use them. Oh, look, more change. A random deck of cards? Yeah, odd. This looks like it might be one of those dog whistles. No, it's just a whistle. I don't know. Okay. These are blades for this. So we will leave these here. Our keys, we will put those in a drawer. Wonder what this is due. Okay. Always good to have pens and pencils. A single stamp. All right, I guess it's not that important. Okay. Probably should get some drawer organizers. Let's get this guy. That is old as well. Gonna give this a quick wipe down. Quick little glance at Mr. Boudreau and Madeline having a mouth war. They are getting along great. Definitely still have their issues, but they're doing pretty good. And they're pretty darn cute. Okay, you guys, I have got it all done. That right there just needs to go out to the shed. But look at how clean my table is. Oh, I just love it. It feels so good. And then this guy is here. Clearly I'm not using my normal camera, I'm using my phone at the moment, but we have everything in here and still lots of space, which is amazing. And then this top drawer just kind of has pens and like that kind of miscellaneous stuff. Other miscellaneous stuff. Told you we needed a junk drawer. Dog coats, actually, I ended up putting them here. And then this one has, like I said, all of our manuals in it. And this side has my camera stuff and the drone. And then just those trays on top of here. And then the bookshelf, looking beautiful. And this is all stuff that, jars that just need to go down into the pantry and stuff that needs to go into the craft room. And then kind of the reason that we chose this cabinet is that we already had on this side one that looks very similar for our bar. So it just kind of gives a nice continuity, but it just feels so good. And the thing that I like the most about it is that everything actually has a place. Like it's not just shoved somewhere and it's gonna come back out again. Like it actually has a place. So I'm super pleased. So that is it, you guys. We got quite a bit accomplished. I do still have a couple more stretch and folds on my sourdough to do, but it is looking lovely, nice and jiggly. It's smells delicious. And of course, we have our wonderful chocolate zucchini loaf, which we should definitely take a cut into and taste. It looks delicious. Let's give it a try. Super moist, very chocolatey, yum. Yep, we're gonna enjoy this. And you never know that there's a whole bunch of zucchini in it. Perfect. Well, you guys, thanks so much for coming along with me again today and doing a couple projects around the house. Like I said, just feels so good to have all of that clutter have an actual spot to go and not just be put away to come out again and end up all over everything once again. So just really nice that everything now has a space and it's nice and clean and uncluttered. So I hope you enjoyed this time with me, and I'd love to see you back. So please do subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.